The Vikings, a name that still echoes with a sense of awe and terror. For centuries, these Scandinavian raiders struck fear into the hearts of Europe. They were fierce warriors, skilled sailors, and shrewd strategists. Their impact on European history and warfare is undeniable. From the late 8th to the 11th centuries, the Vikings sailed from their homelands in Scandinavia. Their targets, the wealthy monasteries and settlements of Britain, Ireland, Francia and beyond. They were not simply barbarians, however. The Vikings were adept at adapting to different environments and cultures. They established settlements, traded goods, and even assimilated into existing societies. Their story is one of exploration, conquest, and ultimately integration. This is the story of the Vikings, told through their battles, their strategies, and their enduring legacy. To understand the Vikings' military prowess, we must first understand their origins. They hailed from Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. These weren't lands of vast empires or standing armies. They were harsh lands, pushing its people to be resourceful and resilient. Most Vikings weren't warriors by trade. They were farmers, fishermen, and traders. But when opportunity arose, they transitioned into fierce raiders. Several factors contributed to this shift. Overpopulation might have forced them to seek new lands and riches. Internal conflicts and power struggles also fueled their desire for conquest and wealth. The lure of treasure and glory played a part too. Whatever the reasons, the Vikings transformed from peaceful seafarers into the most feared force in Europe. Crucial to the Vikings' success was their mastery of the sea. Their iconic longships were technological marvels of their time. Long, narrow and shallow drafted, these ships were designed for both speed and maneuverability. They could navigate shallow rivers, sail across open oceans and land directly on beaches. This gave Vikings an unparalleled strategic advantage. They could appear without warning, strike swiftly and vanish just as quickly. The longships were more than just transport vessels. They were weapons in their own right. Their shallow drafts allowed Vikings to penetrate deep inland, bypassing traditional defences. The sight of these ships, often adorned with fearsome dragon heads, instilled terror in their enemies. Section 4, Hit and Run, the art of the Viking raid. The Vikings didn't rely on large standing armies or complex siege warfare. Their strategy centered around the element of surprise. Their raids were swift and brutal, targeting poorly defended settlements and monasteries. They would strike without warning, pillage for valuables, and leave before any organized resistance could be mounted. This hit-and-run tactic proved incredibly effective. It allowed the Vikings to maximize their gains while minimizing casualties. They often took hostages, either for ransom or to sell into slavery. Their reputation for ruthlessness often preceded them, adding a psychological element to their attacks. The fear they instilled further crippled their enemies' ability to resist. Section 5. The Great Heathen Army conquering England. While raids were common, the Vikings weren't averse to large-scale invasions. In 865 AD, a massive force known as the Great Heathen Army landed in England. This wasn't a raiding party, it was an invasion force seeking conquest and land. The Great Heathen Army, led by legendary Viking warlords like Ivar the Boneless, overran several Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. Their success stemmed from their superior military skills and their ability to adapt to the English terrain. They didn't shy away from open battle, but also used cunning tactics and alliances to achieve their goals. The invasion of England marked a turning point in Viking history. It showed they weren't just raiders, but capable conquerors who could hold on to territory. Section 6. The Siege of Paris, a Viking assault on Francia. The Vikings' ambition wasn't limited to the British Isles. In 845 AD, a Viking fleet led by the chieftain Ragnar Lothbrok sailed up the Seine River. Their target, the wealthy city of Paris, at the heart of the Frankish kingdom. The siege of Paris showcased the Vikings' audacity and military adaptability. Unable to breach the city walls through direct assault, they besieged the city. They plundered the surrounding countryside, hoping to starve the Parisians into submission. While the Vikings didn't capture Paris, they extracted a hefty ransom. Their siege demonstrated their ability to adapt their tactics, employing siege warfare when necessary.